So I just got done finishing watching Onihei. Now, Onihei is pretty interesting so far from where the direction the story is going. It's alright. I'm not going to say that, it's really great or anything, or nothing out of the ordinary that we have seen, but so far it's alright. So let's break it down. What exactly is the story about? Sorry, I had to fix my mic. So the setting of where this story takes place in is during the Edo period of Japan, and where this story opens up, it opens up with an individual known as Heizo, and Heizo is a thief. He ends up getting captured by the Japanese police at the time of the Edo period, and he is imprisoned there. Of course, he was tortured at first, which is like, damn. Like, shit. Like, we were talking about the blood and everything. Like, that was a very gruesome scene. How on the way that they were torturing him, they're freaking nailing his feet to the ground. Like, it almost looked like, something out of the Bible. The crossing of Jesus Christ. It was like, damn. So a few months pass and we have it to where Heizo is still imprisoned by the same facility, but one day a individual ends up coming into the facility that he is imprisoned at, and it happens to be another thief. However, this thief is actually from the Tenmei clan. I guess that is what the names was. I could be wrong. It could be Tenmai or Tenmei, but I'm going to go with Tenmei for right now. And the Tenmei clan is apparently the same clan that Heizo was in the past. When he was first recruited, he had this boss that would basically give him the 3 moral codes of a thief. Now, of course, every sort of thief has their own sort of way on how to about going things within, their sort of clique, but regarding the Tenmei clan, they do something completely different regarding their rules. We have it to 1, do not kill. 2, we have it to where you do not rape women. And number 3, do not steal from the poor. And Heizo, we find out later on that he eventually ends up getting kicked out of the clan because it seemed like he was actually going to rape a girl. And obviously, this doesn't abide to the moral codes of the clan that he was at, so his boss basically excommunicated him. They kicked him right out, but due to this moment, it really affected Heizo deeply, and ever since then, he has tried his very best in order to, keep these moral codes to heart. Not kill, not to rape any woman, and do not steal from the poor. So in order to get out of this situation that Heizo is now in, he ends up talking with the boss of the facility that is currently there, the police of the Japanese Edo period. And I believe his name was Hasegawa. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that was his name. Now, basically, they make a pact to one another. If he wants to, get out of prison and most likely to avoid being killed, he has to work with the Japanese police during this point in time, and he goes out to take down to arrest the chief, because the chief ended up coming one day and basically told Heizo, hey man, you should come with me back to the Tenmei clan, we can just have it like old times and whatnot. And Heizo soon figured out that this was slightly odd just due to the way that the chief was acting at the time, because, he knew how the chief used to act back in the day. However, when, we later find out that apparently the chief was actually, being very odd. He wasn't abiding to Tenmei's moral codes, which was do not kill, do not rape women, and do not steal from the poor. The sort of clique that the chief was in at the time when he was trying to recruit Heizo, he ended up doing some shady shit, and we see that the Japanese force ends up cutting, pretty much all of the subordinates within that group, and we have it to where Heizo ends up turning in the chief. So So the way on how this story was presented in the very first episode, I actually kind of liked it. I like where the story is heading. However, I will say it is pretty predictable in the sense because we kind of know where this story is going to lead down the line. At least I know where it's going to lead, and let me explain what most likely will end up going down. Now, we know that Heizao, he abides this moral codes to the person who we looked up to at the time who ended up taking him in, named Tenmei. Now, of course, Tenmei had these certain moral codes, and Heizao was really impacted by these three moral codes deeply. He sunk them into his brain to remember this and to not violate these rules at all. However, it seems as though, in a way, that Tenmei, at least from what the chief was doing in this episode, which was oddly weird, it seems that Tenmei could possibly, be doing some different things now. It seems like maybe something impacted him that could have led to this. I mean, of course, Heizao does not want to believe it that, Tenmei, changed his ways or whatever because, that's not the Tenmei that he used to know back in the day. However, just due to how things ended up going about, it seems that Tenmei might be doing some shady shit, He could be violating those three moral codes and is now recruiting people and also teaching them different practices than what Heizao is used to. So this is kind of interesting. I like it how it's setting up. I mean, this is most likely what's going to happen, but at the same time, I really don't know. I could be completely wrong. Now, this is a historical drama series, and, this is how the story is going to play out. This is why I say, it's going to be the drama between Tenmei and Heizao. Heizao trying to figure out what exactly is going on with the Tenmei clan, and he's also going to be working with the police, trying to figure out what is going on with the Tenmei clan, and we'll probably see a conclusion by the very few last episodes. So, again, I like samurai anime. I think this episode had a solid start in my personal opinion, but I'm just very curious as to where this series will lead. Now, regards to the animation doesn't look too bad. I actually kind of like the art style of this anime. Now, the studio who is actually working on this is by Studio M2. I believe that they have only worked on a few other projects. I could be completely wrong. They're probably a new studio, but I think they have worked on other projects in the past. I just don't really recall Studio M2 from the things that I have watched, but I'm pretty sure they have worked on other things in the past, so this is probably like my first impressions of the overall studio, and so far, I actually like their work. I mean, the atmosphere of the Edo period with samurai, I'm loving it. I mean, I know for a fact that the story is most likely going to play out this way, but again, I don't know what's going to happen. But the art style, I really do like. It's not the greatest, I will say, but it is, pretty acceptable, I guess is the right word for this sort of anime. Now, regards to the soundtrack is alright. I mean, it's pretty chill. I like the sort of, upbeat soundtrack when there's the fights going on. The fights actually look good, by the way. But regards to the opening and the ending, they are actually, very mellow. Very mellow. The opening has, an instrumental theme to it, which is not bad, but it's, I don't know. It's something that I'm probably gonna skip because, I mean, the opening, I don't know. I don't know. Does anybody else agree with me on this? But yeah, I think that really about does it for this review and my first impressions of the very first episode of Onihei. Really looking forward to these coming episodes and how it's going to lead up during the finale. I really am curious as to how this whole series is going to play out, but this is most likely going to be something that I'm probably going to end up reviewing in the near future because I'm actually really liking this. So most likely I will review this series, but we'll just have to wait and see. Let me know in the comments down below on what you guys thought about this episode. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. And if you want to stay updated to my future content on this channel, hit that red subscribe button down below. And you will never miss a video from me. That about does it for this video, guys. And I'll catch you all in the next one.